200 freestyle, taking a look right here at lane 5, Ellis. I'll play the whole race straight through, and we'll go back and talk a few things after that. All right, so end time was a 2:01.1, best time by over 3 seconds, and your first district championship. Splits, you're out 59.2, back 101.8. So split wise, this is really well done, just like your 500. However, when you break it down by 50, there's a little discrepancy here. So we got 28.3, 30.9, 31.6, and then 30.1. That third 50 being 31.6 is definitely the outlier. What you want to do is you make that jump from the first to second 50, and then you hold that. So if you're 30.9, you go another 30.9. You got closing speed, if you can close 30.2 like you did, that's great. But that third 50 is the hardest 50 of the race. There's no doubt. We got to get that to be consistent with the second and fourth 50s, and that alone puts you at 20.0 or 200. Actually, a lot of the times, somebody's 200 swimmers, their second split will actually be their second 50 will be the slowest 50 of the race, just because they came off of some really fast 50 and they jump up too high and they come back down. So at least you avoided that, but we got to address that third 50 moving forward. This was a fun race to watch, and I'm sure it was fun for you to swim it and feel like you're closing on that guy. You're catching him, and you actually got slower, so that's kind of a thing that we got to work on. Is you got to identify your own pace, you got to know your own race. So like I'm saying, you were catching this guy, and you actually got slower from the second to third 50. So it's kind of like a misleading perspective on your end. All right, taking a look here at your start. Buzzer goes off there. You're over here, by the way. And your hands do not get together and streamline, and your lower body is kind of in an awkward position as it hits the water. If I took a screenshot of this right here, and I showed you this, and I showed you the 500 start, it would be hard to differentiate which is which. So you're consistent on your starts. I mean, this is what your start is. But we got to do a better job at jumping, getting in a straight line, and that starts here with the streamline and goes all the way through the feet. All right. The breakout, you don't breathe, but you breathe off at every turn after this. So I want you to notice you essentially build up each 25 of your race. And then right here, coming off of a turn, there you've lost all your momentum. And that's why you're building, because here you're going from a very slow point, and then you have to crank it up, and you're building into the wall. And then you get to the wall here. Notice you're here. That's probably like you're getting close to your peak speed. and then it all dies right there again. And you do that each length for basically the last 7 lengths. The first length coming off the start, you didn't breathe. It's fine. It's the last 7 lengths. If I had to guess, I would say you're probably a better long course meter swimmer than you are a short course yard swimmer right now. Good news is there's a lot of room for improvement in short course that are just little things that don't even have to do with your swimming specifically. They have to do with that start and what you're doing in and out of the walls. Okay, other thing I want to talk about is this. While you're breathing, I want you to think about where your hand is. Okay, so right here, you're taking a breath, and I know it's going to be hard to see because of this angle of the camera, but so here your hand's entering. You want to leave your hand gliding up front through the breath. But here, your arm is beginning to pull underwater as you're breathing. So right here, like your arm is going beneath you. You've dropped it, probably it's about at your shoulder right now, in line with your shoulder below, beneath the water. What you want to do is leave it leading you, gliding up front. You take a quick breath, and then when your head gets back in the water, that's when you initiate the pull. So it won't be catch up, but it's going to feel a lot more like catch up than what you currently do. Right now, you have a stroke that's kind of mirrored. So you notice here, like your arms up front, the other one's by your hips. And then when this one is going under you, you have the other one in the arm. So they're always kind of opposing each other. Again, it's not going to be catch up, but you want to be closer to catch up than you are because you're leaving that arm up front before you take the breath. The reason for that is when you are pulling water and you're breathing to the side, you're essentially pulling water sideways. You're trying to apply force downwards to your side. So like if you're standing up and you reached out to your side, so you're facing forward, your arm's sticking out straight to the side like in a T position, and you try to push something down, it would be pretty difficult. But if you turned your body so your arm was sticking straight out in front of you, like in front of your chest, and you try to push down that same object, it would be much easier in that position. You'd be much more powerful. And that same concept applies to swimming. You can't pull water as efficiently and as powerful as you could when you're on your side as you could when you are flat in the water. So that's why you want to keep that arm gliding up front. So start breathing off the turns, and our hand position through the breath are 3 things we got to really start to think about here as we go into region next week. Best time, district champion. Very nice job, Ellis.